This Torah Mantle came in because the lining was completely torn. Every time they put it on the Atzechaim, it would get caught. The fabric was ripped straight along the cross grain in a few places with multiple tears, and it had already been repaired once before at least. And at this point, it didn't make sense to keep patching or stitching pieces together. The entire lining had to be replaced. Here I'm measuring the Torah Mantle, so I know exactly what to cut for the new lining. Then I start trimming along all the seams and removing the old lining completely. Now I'm tracing the top wooden piece. I want the exact pattern for when I make a custom new Torah Mantle in the future. So I'm just using this opportunity that I have it in my studio. This is the new lining fabric I'm using. I'm laying it out flat, lining it up on the table, measuring and marking everything. Now I'm cutting the lining. I mark the size where the slits are going to be, and I cut small notches there. That tells me where to stop the stitching and where the fold for the slit begins. This is the backing. I want the lining to be more durable and stable, so I'm using a woven fusible. I actually ran out and had to order more. The fusible has glue on one side that melts under heat. I'm bonding it to one side of the lining and then bonding the second piece. When I took it apart, the side seams of the actual mantle also came apart. It was sewn with like old cotton thread, and that stuff disintegrates over time. It becomes weak and basically falls apart. I stitched one side back together, but the top section isn't reachable by machine, so I'm closing by hand. Now I'm pinning the other side and stitching it closed with the machine. Now I'm fixing everything by hand. Some of the trimming had come apart, and there was a section on top where the seam was torn. I'm just reinforcing it and hand stitching it back into place. Now I'm sewing the side seams of the new lining. I'm putting in a stay stitch at 1/2 inch. That marks the fold line and makes it easier when I turn the hem. After that, I sew the sides of the lining closed. Once that's done, I'm pinning the hem and the side slit of the lining back onto the actual mantle. Now I'm machine stitching the lining to the mantle. I'm using burgundy thread on top and fuchsia on the bobbin, so the stitching blends and doesn't show as much. I'm doing a 1/4 inch top stitch along the bottom edge, going around the curve, turning at the slits, and stitching up that section to attach everything. Then I repeat the same process on the other side. I remove all the pins, and now I'm securing the area at the top of the slits, just reinforcing it with some hand stitching so it holds better. Now I'm pulling the lining up to the top and folding it all the way around. I'm using a rounded needle because the wooden top is structured, and I need a needle that can slide between the layers without being able to pinch the fabric because it's structured with the wooden piece. The lining is folded inward, and I'm working all the way around the top with a double thread and a rounded needle. This area sits deep inside the mantle. You only see it if you turn the whole thing inside out, which you wouldn't do unless you're working on it. I'm still going around, hand stitching carefully.